This is a special episode that is for all of you who have not purchased a home before. If I could go back in time, tell myself what I should do with the knowledge that I have today.
I have to tell you about the future!
So I want to share that with you. First of all, benefits of home ownership are huge. And if you're renting, you know you're just throwing that money away.
I immediately regret this decision.
You're paying someone else's mortgage, and if your dream is to own a home, then you need to look into obtaining a mortgage. First of all, owning your own house is amazing because you don't have to ask if you want to paint.
Thinking is to take out the wall between the kitchen and living room for a more open concept. Our job is to deliver.
Owning period feels amazing. There's a lot of pride in where you live. There's tax breaks on the interest that you pay. I'm not an accountant, so I'm just saying some little facts that I know from my personal use. It also increases your net worth.
I'm kind of a big deal.
You're now putting what you would have put towards rent into that mortgage payment, and that principal is going to slowly go down. And then that's how you start to build yourself. When you eventually go sell it, you have a lot of equity and you flip that into another property or house that you own. It's a great way to get started. So what I want to do is tell you a little bit about the duplex strategy. This is what I would have done when I was 20, 21 years old and had not purchased a house yet if I had known now. So most people will go rent or go buy a single family dwelling. What I think most people today should do, especially with how funds are so tight,
I'm broke as shit.
and wages are down, you should take your loan that you're going to use to buy a house, whether it's WCDA or whatever it is that you qualify for, and purchase a duplex. That's where you have one unit on one side and another unit on the other side. You're going to live in one side, and then you're going to rent out the other side. So let's say that you purchase this duplex, and I'm just gonna throw out rough numbers. You purchase this duplex, and your payment $1,600 a month. You have your tenant pay $1,000 for rent, which is pretty good around here. Maybe you could do $1,200. That really almost covers your entire payment, and you would only owe like what, $400 extra if they paid $1,200 a month?
It's free real estate.
As time goes on, they're paying your principal down. You're paying not so much for rent and hopefully being able to save more. You go to sell this in a few years, maybe let's just say 5 years, and you have a couple $100,000 worth of equity and your savings that you have to purchase a really nice house. So it's a great way for people to get started without all of the pressure of a full $1,600 a month payment. Also, it's pretty easy to rent duplexes out, so you'll never be left with a big vacancy like if you were to purchase a fourplex or a single family dwelling where they're out, and that's gonna cost you a lot more. Some things to consider though, on the flip side, is owning a house comes with a lot of responsibility, and water heaters break and plumbing breaks, and it's usually never a great time for that to happen. It's on weekends or holidays, and you have to get it fixed right away. It's your duty as a landlord.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
So as a first-time homebuyer, you can use WCDA, which is the same loan that you would use to purchase a single-family home or a townhouse, to purchase that duplex. Sometimes they'll require you to show that you have a lease in place, not always, but you can use the same financing because it's owner occupied. But duplexes are easy to sell, they're easy to rent, it's just one other unit, so usually that's like kind of the best of both worlds. In first-time homebuyers mortgage like WCDA, you come to the table with $1,500. WCDA stands for Wyoming Community Development Authority. Each state will have their own. So if you can use the same mortgage loan that you would use to purchase a single family house to purchase a multi-unit, as long as you're owner occupying one side, that's a huge hack. You could have them pay pretty much your whole mortgage payment.
It's real estate free.
I remember when I started in the industry, they were so hard to sell and there was so many of them. But the way things are right now with low vacancies on any rentals, I would do that immediately. right now the market is prime for this. So if you are looking at buying, investing, you just want to get started in life, this is such a good plan because the market is so good. You're not going to have a vacancy. You can charge top rents, make it really nice, and see a pretty penny of return on that. I remember my first house and I was very overwhelmed with all the duties that I didn't know I'd need to take care of. So make sure that you're buying something that maybe isn't super outdated, that doesn't have plumbing issues. I think the best recommendation I could give you is to, instead of hiring an inspector, go and get an HVAC company to come assess everything and tell you what all needs to be repaired, and do the same for a roof and electrical. So those three things are super important because that's the core of your house. Anything superficial or cosmetic, you're gonna be able to see when you go tour it with your agent. And usually that stuff isn't too crazy expensive. I mean, it's a little paint usually. Those other big items, especially as your first house, you need to make sure are in check before you close. So have you considered purchasing a home? Have you thought about doing the duplex or multi-unit strategy before? I want to know, and I want to know what your experience was. Was it good? Have you done it a couple times? Is it not for you? Please comment and let me know, and I will see you on the next one.